Our second song of sung worship this morning is a very old hymn, or at least the words are very old. They come from right back in the 1800s, in 1870s. And I know that in the past I've heard this story. I think Julia brought the back picture of this song to us, but it is worth repeating. It helps us realise that the songs that we are singing very frequently are inspired by the Holy Spirit from real life experiences, and they're written by people who are just like ourselves. Sung worship is often a response to us recognising our vulnerabilities. So Horatio Spafford was a successful lawyer. He had everything in life that he could be looking for in the 1800s. He was married, he was a very successful businessman, he had 5 children, no money worries. And then in 1871, his very youngest child, who was only 4 years old at the time, died, and it was his only male son, so it's this young boy. If that wasn't traumatic enough for the family, in 1872 there was the Great Fire of Chicago. And although the Spaffords had a huge estate which gave them a huge amount of financial security, that was completely destroyed in that Great Fire of Chicago. And so not only he just lost his son the year before, but now all his sort of stability of wealth had gone as well. And so in the following year, and perhaps in response to all that trauma of the previous 24 months, he plans to take a family holiday, basically. And he sends his wife and his 4 daughters off on a boat to Europe for a trip. And he's just going to wrap up a few bits of work and then join them there. Unfortunately, another tragedy for him. That ship sank on the journey and his 4 daughters died. He went and joined his wife and they returned eventually to Chicago. And in the year after that, or on their return, the building in which his law firm sort of did their business and, obviously supplied his income to survive with his wife, was also burnt down. But even worse than that, the insurance company said it was an act of God and they wouldn't pay any money back for it. And so in the space of 3 years, this poor man had lost his security, he'd lost his son, he'd lost his 4 daughters, he'd lost his livelihood. What would be your response? What would be my response? Well, what he did was he thanked God for his remaining family, for his home, for food to eat, for his friends, but most of all, he thanks God that he has Jesus Christ on his side. And he stated, "All is well with my soul."